Now that we finished reading our book, All Kinds of Minds, and we've talked about some of the different kinds of minds that people can have, we're going to do a really fun activity today where we are going to pretend that we are in Eddie's room using his grown-upulator, which, if you remember, is his imaginary invention that he uses on his computer, where he figures out what kinds of mind all of his friends have, and based on what they are good at and what their kinds of minds can do, he tries to predict what will happen in their future and what kinds of jobs they will have when they get older using their kind of mind. Just to refresh our memories, when we talk about what kinds of minds people can have, we mean what areas their minds are good at and what areas they have weaknesses in. And sometimes those weaknesses can be called disabilities. The students in this book had disabilities including attention deficit disorder, where they had problems concentrating. They had dyslexia, where they had problems reading. We talked about some speech and language disorders, where the words are confusing and they don't know which words to use. We talked about sound disorders, problems with social skills, and problems with their motor skills, which can affect their sports. There are many other kinds of disabilities or weaknesses that your mind can have that we didn't talk about in this book. And so today we're going to think about things that our minds are good at and what maybe we struggle with. And then based on what kind of minds we have, we're going to try to imagine what Eddie's grown-upulator might say about ourselves. So before we begin the activity, I just want to read the part in the book again where Eddie is talking about everybody's different kinds of minds. So Eddie says, "I was born with my attention deficit. My doctor said loads of kids are born with mind problems. Bill was born with his leaky mind. And Derek was born with sports problems and problems getting along with other kids. And Eve was born with problems talking right and understanding language. And Sonia was born with a reading problem. Probably everyone's got some sort of problem. No one is perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect anybody. A completely perfect kid would be perfectly weird." Then Eddie goes on to talk about what the grown-upulator says about himself, and he imagines that he creates a school for everybody with their different kinds of minds. He says, "It will be the most super excellent school where everyone will find a way to be excellent and to feel excellent. We'll call it the Minds of All Kinds School. It will be a school where every boy finds out all about his mind and every girl finds out all about her mind. Kids will even learn about each other's minds. It will be a school where all kids feel great about their kinds of minds. It will also be a no-cruel school. No one will make fun of anyone else. No one will ever feel embarrassed. All the kids will feel proud of their different kinds of minds they have. Different kids will be allowed to learn in different ways and to do things in different ways. Kids will have to work hard to get excellent at the things they're good at. Everyone in the school will become an expert at something. Everybody will know more than anybody else about something." And so today we're going to think about what our minds are good at, what kind of strengths and weaknesses our minds have. And this is not an easy thing to do, but it's important to remember that a weakness is not something that we need to be embarrassed about or ashamed of, because everybody has things that they're good at and things that they have trouble with. And so on your sheet here, I want everyone to think about the different kinds of minds that are out there and the different mind work that your brain has to do. And then I want you to think about yourself, and I want you to list 3 things that you're good at, so 3 strengths, and then also 3 weaknesses. Not necessarily something that you're bad at, but maybe something that you just struggle with, something that takes you a little bit more time or work than others. And I've created some examples here based on what we've talked about in the book, a couple others, and you don't have to use these examples. If you have something else that you come up with, you can use that too. Once you come up with your strengths and your weaknesses, you can figure out what kind of mind you have. And then I want you to pretend that you're at Eddie's house and he's going to plug in your strengths and weaknesses into his grown-upulator, and then I want us to write down what that grown-upulator would say about you based on your strengths and weaknesses. So imagine what he might say you're going to do when you get older based on your kind of mind, and why you would be good at it.